YouTube, what's good? Mace back with another video. In this video, we're doing the live trading session. Um, I wasn't able to get in any trades on Thursday nor Friday. Market just wasn't marketing at that moment, so I'm not trying to force anything. Once I don't see a seller, I just don't trade. This setup is what I saw last night when the market reopened. So market opened up with a nice huge gap, not gap but nice wick all the way down here. Started to buy up. I had these areas that I want price to break, which price did. I was waiting for a pullback to see if I could get some type of pullback, but price continued rallying up. Then it made a small pullback here, a new high, pullback, a new high. So I had this as a demand zone. The price could have target back to around these areas right now, where this little gap is right now. So I was looking for price to tap back to this supply area, which price actually did. This would be my 1 to 5 that I needed, but I didn't take that trade because it was out of session. And the past few times that I tried trading out of session, it actually lost. So I wasn't interested at the moment to trade out of session. And I also want to do a live session with you guys where you guys can see me actually trading live. So at the moment now, this was a setup I was supposed to take, but I had to get my son ready for school and stuff, and I wasn't able to get on that in time. This gave me a nice red candle to actually get back in it, but before I got in it, the price really started to shoot back up again. So that's a loss right there. You can't even take no more. But the reason why I had that setup was because price came at these areas now. If you can see, price on Friday, price made this big drop that broke this structure, right? And I came back to these structure lows here on Sunday. So by knowing that, I know that, okay, I know price is close to a 4-hour all-time high right now on Nas. And I'm expecting price, if you can see here, 4-hour high, it dropped. Almost reached the 4-hour high again, dropped. Almost reached, so reached back to these areas, dropped again, right? Came back to this support right there. So I'm looking for price to try and fill in some of these gaps at the moment, which the gap is all the way up here, right? That needs to be filled. So I'll put from here all the way here would be the gap that needs to be filled, right? But then on a 15-minute, you notice there's another little area high that I could actually carry price to, which is here. So I'm trying to see if price is actually trying to get back to this area here and then see what it does from there. It does have some gaps around here that needs to be filled as well, but I'm not thinking price is going to come all the way back down here at the moment. I'm thinking price is trying to fill in these areas that it made on Friday. This was a huge drop on Friday. This was a 15-minute drop on Friday. Yeah, so I'm looking for price to target back to these areas. Now, with that being said, this is why I had this in mind to play out, because price had this resistance. I was looking for the price to break these areas, which it did there. Pushed up, broke resistance here, so I could put a line here right now to show you guys. Price broke resistance here. Okay, boom. Price broke resistance here. Okay, now this was a low probability demand. Reason why? Because it didn't have any gaps to be filled. You understand? So price made this long wick push, made this 1, not 2 but 3 aggressive push to actually break these highs within 3 candles. 1, 2, 3, broke the highs. Okay, so that's a confirmation for me. And then price came down, not aggressively, but took its time to come back to this area. Last red candle. Notice I don't even have it all the way to this wick. I just have it back to the green candle there. Tap back into it. I wait for price to break my 13 EMA right here. So this was supposed to be my initial entry, but I wasn't available in the market at the time. Times I was able to come back in the market, this red candle was forming. Times I was able to open up my platform to go in the trade. This 5-minute candle already closed, and it gave me this. It started giving me this bullish candle, and once I'm not at my entry, I'm not gonna enter the trade because now I have to adjust stop loss, I have to adjust targets, and my targets are set because that's where I'm anticipating for my TPs to be hit. So I'm not trying to get in a trade later than usual to put my targets up because I have to adjust my stop loss a little higher. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get the targets where I actually have it to be met. You understand? So right now it was playing out. Let me see if this was 1-to-1 already. So it was almost a 1-to-1 so far, almost a 1-to-1. But yeah, I'm just trying to see how this is gonna play out at the moment. I don't really have another demand. Some would say this, but I wouldn't really count this as a demand at the moment unless it's a 1 minute. Yeah, but that's what I have for Nas. Let's see what gold does. Gold had their setup last night as well. Did not take advantage of it because, like I said, out of session, played out for a nice 2-to-1 RR, and it kept rallying up. So it's making all-time highs once again. I'm not sure where gold is trying to go at the moment, but it's making all-time highs. So I'm just waiting for the first sell opportunity, and I'll be selling this once more. I don't try to buy when price is already at all-time highs because I'm not sure how much higher it wants to go. So I'll just wait for a sell setup to go against the all-time highs and stuff. So right now gold is just doing gold things. So right now I think I put something here now and see what it does around these areas, if it could break these areas or not. It broke these highs, so let's see what price can do afterwards now. Well, it didn't really broke the high because as soon as it broke it, you see it come back down with a same size aggressive candle. So wick bullish, strong wick bearish. So let's see if price could break this. If price can break this, we can look for some type of supply setup to start taking it back lower. And that's all I got for now. I'll keep in touch, and if I were to get in any setups, I'll definitely let you guys know. Alright, so the Nas100 already played out. Wasn't able to get in that at all. It went higher than I needed to go to also, so if there was a normal trade I would have been taking, I could have easily add a fib onto this. I gotta try to go back to the negative 61, but it only hit the 50% retracement, which means I should only be trying to take it back to around the negative 27. But you still gotta try to see if you could squeeze out a little bit more. So this was a 2-to-1. At the moment, you can see if price actually trying to get to this area, but you have to be very mindful that the retracement already showed you the 50, which means it should be going back to the 27. So where I had my targets was actually kind of like in the middle of both of them, which is always nice to have. But also remember, I was trying to target back to these areas here. So that's why I wasn't even interested in carrying it all the way back up here. But I'm still anticipating for price to get back to all this liquidity that it need at these areas. Other than that, so far, like I say, don't have nothing right now. I'm looking to sell gold, but I'm just looking for an entry. Gold is at all-time highs. On the 1 hour, it already has a resistance area at the moment here that it finally broke out of. And I'm looking to see if price might want to come back to these areas as a retest. It's just me waiting for the right entry at the moment. 15 minute, I can use this 15 minute. That's what I can do. I'll use this 15 minute right now. Wait for price to break these areas here on 15 minute. Once price breaks this area on 15 minute, I can then look for a 5 minute supply area and go from there. So if I get any setups, like I say, I will definitely let you guys know how the trade play it out or whatsoever. But that's all I got for now. So this is the setup here. I'll be looking to see if price can break this, give me some type of pullback. I don't know to where, because I don't see any supply at the moment, but this right here could be something I could look for. Price could break this. I could look for price to break, pull back into this area, get me some type of entry, and I could try to sell this back down to this area here, no too far, or back to around here. And I make sure that's about 1 hour. I won't put it by the wick. I ain't trusting anything else. I just put it by the wick. So something like this, I'll be looking for today. Let's see if I get that today. I don't need all of that, so I don't care. If I get an entry from here, wrong one. If I get an entry from here, then it'll be like this, something similar to this. Like a target back to here, like around here. That's what I'll be looking for today. So yeah, let's see if this can play out. Let's see if this can play out. Alright, so looks like we might be getting into something around at 9:30-ish time. Gold broke the 15-minute support, but on the 15-minute it's a wick. So that has me a little bit puzzled at the moment on whether I want to continue looking for sells. I still want sells now, don't get me wrong. I still want sells, but it's having me a little bit like, I wonder. But the 5-minute, it broke the 5-minute structure, which was this area. The reason why it was this area, because if you go on the line chart, you will notice that price made double top here. This was actually how it would be at the moment. So this now made a lower scale low, higher low, and then when broke that structure, and now it broke it. So I'm looking to see if price can target back to these areas, like I said up here, to actually get some type of selling opportunity once I can get a tap into this same zone area. So right now we're in another area of supply because we had a big push, we had a nice push down here, pause, nice push again. We're in this area, but I'm not sure price is going to hold this, so I'm thinking price is still going to come to this area here. Once price tap there, that'll be my alert. I would look for selling opportunities where I'll look for the candle to then break my 13 EMA. Once it breaks my 13 EMA, I'll be entering that for sell. Like I say, stop loss above these highs, which is this wick, and then I'll be taking targets a little bit lower than the 15 minute. So that's what I'll be looking for on gold at the moment. Nas, like I say, 9:30 is like nine minutes away. I'm believing at 9:30 might push Nas back to these areas here, which is a demand. I'm still looking for top price Nas to target these areas here. Still looking for Nas to target back to these areas. So that's what I'm looking for. I don't think Nas is going to come back to these areas. If it does, it might just do a strong push, wick, and then push back up. But I'm not looking for Nas to actually. I'm just looking for Nas to push down here. Try to give me a continuation there. Gold is almost in my area. Well, gold already topped the area, but it hasn't topped my alert yet, so I'll be waiting. But once gold can give me a break of this 13 EMA, I'll be entering that, and I'll let you guys know how that played out. So yeah, stay tuned. Hey YouTube, alright, so let's talk about this one, right? Nas played out early this morning, wasn't able to take advantage of this, played out. I said that there's another demand at the moment here that I could potentially see price coming to. Price stopped there, but it was already coming into 9:30. 9:30 is very volatile, it's very unpredictable. You don't know what it's going to do, what it wants to do. Price actually came and respected that demand, pushed up another 2 to 1. But you could also try to carry it higher because, like I said earlier, I could see potentially price trying to fill back all this mess that it made on Friday, which is almost completed doing. So yeah, that was another setup I was not able to take advantage of, like I said, because it was 9:30. Didn't want to just risk or chance it. And if I wanted to wait for a closure of the candle for my EMA, it would have been here, and I would take targets. So it would have been here. I'd take targets below these areas somewhere and try to take targets, like I said, all the way up here somewhere, right? So they didn't take that. This is a setup I was actually waiting for, and I ended up messing myself up. What happened was me fixing the lot size and trying to see like where my stop's going to be, where my target's going to be. I ended up entering the trade. At the same area here, whereas I was supposed to wait for my 13 EMA break, because I was telling the wife earlier, I don't respect this touch that it did, because it barely touched it, so I'm not interested in this. And it also didn't really break. So when I see it started to buy up here, I said, okay, now I could potentially look for sells once it triggers my entry, right? Once it breaks and closes 13 EMA. Now what happened was I had an alert here, and I was trying to put a sell stop here and say, okay, I want to see how much. So I went my platform is to do a sell stop to see how much it would be to actually sell from here, stop loss up there, and targets down here. That's what I was initially doing. But I ended up pressing sell and thinking it was on the sell stop, but it was actually market execution, and I actually ended up executing the trade. And as soon as I executed the trade, the trade just started backing up, and I was like, dang, do I want to close out with a drawdown right now, or do I just want to hold it? So I said, but I'm gonna just hold it. I still see it selling. I'm gonna just hold it. I'm just keep the faith. Price started buying up more, and I was like, okay, it's not. Let me see if I want to respect this demand. The supply area right here. It's respecting it at the moment, as you can see here. And I said, okay, let me just wait to see if it's 13 EMA break to give me some type of clarification that it might want to start to sell. And it finally rejected the resistance once more, the supply, and then it gave me a 13 EMA break right there, right? So this would have been my initial entry if I actually take it when I supposed to and not end up going into it. This would have been the initial entry. So that's why I have it there. This would have been the initial entry. My targets, my stop loss would have still been around here at these areas, and my target would have actually been here, but I'm trying to get. So this would have been my target. But now, because I ended up going to trade earlier than expected, I have the same stop loss now. So whether it win or lose, if it do hit the stop loss, that means either which way, if I had to wait for the entry, I still would have lost. So you understand? But let's say it starts to sell, and let's say it only sells to here before reversing, then I would be like, dang, like, wow. But if it do get the sell there, I would probably just move stop loss at break even. So if it do sell here, I would put stops at break even, just see if it will continue its momentum down. But yeah, that's why I won't be very mindful and careful when it comes to your entries, because if you miss your entry, or if you end up entering too early, that could mess you up. It was not supposed to be in this trade at all, and that's just a lesson I have to just a consequence I have to take. I have to, yeah. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated to let you guys know if this plays out or not. I still seen it to play out. It's just when I might have to hold this trade till tomorrow or so. I don't know, because it's already almost 12 and it's still in this range. So for this to drop all the way to here, it's going to that's going to be something's going to have to happen. I know God works in mysterious ways. This got to be at least some pips. Let me see. Yeah, this some pips right now. For this to actually drop to where I need this to drop to. So let's see how this plays out. I'm not sure if this will play out today. It's over, I think, 200 pips. Yeah, 200 pips. I'm not sure it's gonna drop for 200 pips now. But if this do drop, I think by my entry, I'll probably just come out of the trade. If it does hit entry, I'll just probably come out of the trade and just call it one over and look for another setup tomorrow or so. But yeah, I just finished telling the wife earlier today, like, what would piss me off would be 1 and 2 played out perfectly. Didn't take this out of session. Didn't take this because I was not available at that moment. Played out. And then the goal earlier last night also played out. I said that's 3 trades in a row that played out. I would be pissed if the trade that I go in does not play out. I just told her that, and now look what's happening. But I'm gonna keep the faith and see what it does, and I'll get back to you guys later. YouTube, so this is the end result. The end result came out with a loss. So what happened was I was supposed to get out at entry. Remember I told you guys I missed and entered at this area here, trying to calculate the lot size and everything, and I'm back entering. As soon as I entered, it just ended up pushing all the way up, and I said I'm not coming out of this. I think I was down like $50 something already, and I was like, I'm not coming out of it. I'll just hold it and we'll see if it breaks the 13 EMA. It tried to break it here, tried to break it there, but didn't break it. Came all the way back up to this resistance area. When price finally broke in here, this was my initial. This would have been my initial entry right here, because it broke the 13 there. My stop loss would have actually been around above these areas here, and I would have tried to target. Like I say, I would try to target back to around here. So if you notice, I still would have probably lost, but I would have actually got stopped out at break even, because this already was a 1-to-1. I would have already moved my entry at break even, because I'm not trying to get too much. I'm trying to get probably a 1-to-3, 1-to-4. So I would have automatically moved my stop loss at break even. But I was also thinking about entering once more, leaving the first one that I had in. And once it gets here, I know I would have been in some kind of profit as well on the other one. So I would have been at almost a 0.5 RR. So I would have been able to still close out with the full targets that I needed if I did actually do that. But unfortunately I didn't. It ended up being a loss. When it came to the entry, like I say, I didn't come out of it. I said, let me see if it's gonna break these lows, because I needed price to actually break this. So I was anticipating for price to break this, but I got too busy dealing with something and wasn't checking the charts. Price actually came back there, reversed. Didn't even know it reversed until I checked it later on. When I checked it later on, it was already up here. So I said, when price get back at break even, I'll just exit. Price came back at break even, which I didn't even know once again, and just end up rallying up, and I just was, so that's when I actually just said, forget it, let me put on alert instead of just trying to check the charts out, because I usually set alerts, but this time I just didn't set any alerts at that point. And price just never went back to break even, opened back up a new session, rallied up, and just took me out. But every other trade, like I said, played out. Like I say, this Nas100 played out beautiful, didn't even take that. This other one played out back to the areas I was anticipating for it to go back to. It actually almost finished up the whole big drops that it made that Friday. But yeah, won't be trading again till Wednesday. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. What I could say is, be careful when you're trying to calculate your loss size. So make sure you're not clicking anything unexpectedly. And then that's why it's so important to wait for certain entries. So like I said, I wait for my break of the 13 EMA. And that's the reason why, notice I've missed an entry now, which this should be my entry. I would have been probably in a better situation, but it is what it is. You can't do anything about that. That's just trading. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Peace and love. God bless you all.